Welcome to the Englishstorywell channel, your ultimate destination for captivating stories that enhance your English learning journey. Here, we believe that stories are not just a form of entertainment, but a powerful tool to improve your language skills. Let's go to started.
Sarah had always dreamed of traveling the world and meeting new people. However, she knew that to achieve her dream, she needed to improve her English listening and speaking skills. Although she had studied English in school, she often felt nervous when trying to speak or understand conversations in real-life situations. Determined to improve, Sarah set a clear goal. She wanted to become fluent in English within 1 year. She knew it would be a challenging journey, but she was ready to put in the effort and practice every day. Sarah decided to start with improving her listening skills. She believed that being able to understand spoken English was the first step towards becoming fluent. To do this, she needed to immerse herself in the language as much as possible. Sarah began by listening to English songs. She chose songs with clear lyrics and tried to understand the words and their meanings. She would listen to the songs repeatedly, looking up unfamiliar words in a dictionary. This helped her build her vocabulary and improve her ability to recognize different words and phrases. Next, Sarah moved on to watching English movies and TV shows. She started with shows that had subtitles, so she could read along and understand what the characters were saying. She paid close attention to their pronunciation, intonation, and expressions. Gradually, she began watching without subtitles, challenging herself to rely solely on her listening skills. To further improve her listening skills, Sarah started listening to English podcasts and audiobooks. She found podcasts on topics she was interested in, such as travel, cooking, and personal development. Listening to native speakers discussing various subjects helped her get used to different accents and speaking speeds. Sarah also joined online communities where she could participate in discussions and listen to others speak English. She followed English-speaking YouTubers and watched their videos regularly. This not only helped her improve her listening skills, but also kept her engaged and motivated. Once Sarah felt more confident in her listening abilities, she knew it was time to start practicing her speaking skills. She began by speaking to herself in English. She would describe her day, talk about her plans, or even read aloud from books or articles. This helped her get used to forming sentences and speaking out loud. Sarah also found a language exchange partner online. She connected with a native English speaker who wanted to learn her native language. They would have conversations in both languages, helping each other practice and improve. This was a great way for Sarah to practice speaking English in a real-life context. To gain more speaking practice, Sarah joined a local English conversation club. The club met once a week, and members would have discussions on various topics, play language games, and participate in activities that encouraged speaking in English. The supportive and friendly environment helped Sarah overcome her fear of making mistakes and boosted her confidence. In the club, Sarah met people from different backgrounds who were also learning English. They shared tips and resources, practiced speaking with each other, and provided feedback. Sarah learned a lot from their experiences and felt motivated by their progress. Sarah knew that immersing herself in the language would accelerate her learning. She started thinking in English instead of translating from her native language. She labeled objects in her house with their English names to reinforce her vocabulary. She even changed the language settings on her phone and computer to English. Sarah also sought out opportunities to use English in her daily life. She would strike up conversations with tourists in her city, ask for directions in English, and order food at restaurants that catered to English-speaking customers. These real-life interactions helped her become more comfortable and fluent in speaking English to ensure consistent progress. Sarah set up a daily routine for practicing her English skills. She dedicated specific time slots for listening, speaking, reading, and writing in English. She found that having a structured routine kept her disciplined and made it easier to track her progress. Every morning, Sarah would listen to an English podcast or audiobook while having breakfast. During her commute, she would practice speaking by describing what she saw or planning her day in English. In the evening, she would watch an episode of an English TV show or movie and read a chapter from an English book before bed. Sarah realized that to improve, she needed constructive feedback on her speaking skills. She asked her language exchange partner, conversation club members, and even her English teacher to provide feedback on her pronunciation, grammar, and fluency. Their insights helped her identify areas for improvement and work on them systematically. She also recorded herself speaking and listened to the recordings to self-evaluate. This helped her notice her mistakes and track her progress over time. By actively seeking feedback and working on it, Sarah made significant improvements in her speaking skills. Sarah faced several challenges along the way. There were times when she felt frustrated with her progress or nervous about speaking in front of others. However, she reminded herself of her goal and persevered. She learned to embrace her mistakes as part of the learning process. Every time she made a mistake, she saw it as an opportunity to learn and improve. She also celebrated her small victories, such as understanding a difficult podcast or having a smooth conversation in English, which kept her motivated. To measure her progress, Sarah took regular language proficiency tests. She found online tests that assessed her listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills. Each test gave her a detailed report on her strengths and areas that needed improvement. Sarah also set specific, achievable milestones for herself. For example, she aimed to have a 5-minute conversation in English without hesitation, understand an entire podcast episode, or read a book in English. Achieving these milestones gave her a sense of accomplishment and motivated her to keep going. Building a strong vocabulary was crucial for Sarah's listening and speaking skills. She kept a notebook where she wrote down new words and phrases she encountered. She made it a habit to review her vocabulary list regularly and use the new words in sentences. Sarah also used flashcards to reinforce her vocabulary. She created digital flashcards with apps and physical flashcards that she carried with her. Whenever she had a few minutes, she would review her flashcards and quiz herself. To further enhance her speaking skills, Sarah sought opportunities to engage with native English speakers. She attended language meetups, joined online forums, and participated in social events where she could interact with native speakers. These interactions helped her get used to different accents, slang, and idiomatic expressions. She learned to understand and respond to natural, spontaneous speech, which significantly improved her fluency. Sarah leveraged technology to aid her learning. She used language learning apps that offered interactive exercises, speaking practice, and feedback. She found apps that allowed her to practice pronunciation, listen to native speakers, and engage in conversations. She also used online resources such as language learning websites, YouTube channels, and podcasts dedicated to English learners. These resources provided a wealth of material for improving her listening and speaking skills. Staying motivated was key to Sarah's success. She set long-term goals and broke them down into smaller, manageable tasks. She rewarded herself for achieving milestones and celebrated her progress. Sarah also found a study buddy who shared similar goals. They motivated each other, practiced together, and held each other accountable. Having someone to share the journey with made it more enjoyable and less daunting. Sarah knew that real-life practice was essential for mastering a language. She volunteered at events where she could interact with English speakers, joined clubs and organizations that conducted activities in English, and traveled to English-speaking countries. These real-life experiences helped her apply what she had learned and gain practical language skills. She became more confident in her ability to communicate effectively in various situations. A year after setting her goal, Sarah reflected on her journey. She was amazed at how far she had come. Her listening and speaking skills had improved significantly, and she felt much more confident in her ability to communicate in English. She realized that her success was due to consistent practice, perseverance, and a positive attitude. She had embraced the challenges, learned from her mistakes, and kept pushing herself to improve. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced learner, our carefully curated stories cater to all levels, making learning English enjoyable and effective. Join our community of language enthusiasts and let the magic of storytelling transform your learning experience. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. Dive into Englishstorywell, where every story is a step towards mastering English.